started in confinement. I was thrown into solitary for basically having a fight, which is common. I have a mental health condition, so I didn't do too well with it at first, especially with the lighting, the synthetic lighting, because they leave it on, they weaponize the lighting as like a form of almost torture to, like, so you can't sleep, which propelled my, my mania. As I was inside solitary, I was dealing with this, and then there was a window probably like 3 cells down, and it would refract natural light into my cell, like for, I don't know, like an hour and a half a day. So I started sun mapping with my fingernail, like where the sun was hitting. And I had spent so long in there that the sun had become lower in the sky during the winter months, that more light was entering my cell, like it was going farther in my cell. So through the sun mapping process, I started taking commissary potato chip bags, the reflective inside of the bags, and reflecting the natural light and having this conversation with like my confinement and my isolation with the outside world. It's like, like a means to find hope. So I started creating these just reflective bush fakes or sculptures, we would say. Basically, it's like I made it out of toilet paper. It's just like when you use prison material to create something like art, it's like, oh, that's a bush fake or something. So I started reflecting the light, and as I was reflecting the light, there's a block of people in solitary. I started reflecting, and like people started asking what I was doing, and one of them asked for a Queen's piece. So I started making these arcs just like these. The reflective piece was the Queen's piece, so they all kind of asked for one and traded commissary with me, so I was able to make more pieces. It's my way of creating, a safer internal environment. And so externally, that's kind of my goal too, is like to share that with them. That's why most of the majority of my works up until last year have been public facing or public work, confronting mass incarceration and mental health. I taught myself like Newtonian light physics and refractions and double refractions, and just so I could understand where the reflection was going to go and where the refraction was going to go. It's a lot of sun mapping, and I enjoy that process the most. It's a way of reclaiming my life, do you know what I mean? And like, it's a celebration of being out. A lot of people say like, oh, you're free now, and it's like, no, like you're out, you're not free, because I still had free air prison to go through, which is parole, You're still incarcerated, during, even after your release, and then there's so many hurdles that it's by design to pull you back in. It's like mass incarceration, they want you by design back in. Once you're in, you can't get a job. It's extremely hard to get a job. Luckily, one of the very fortunate to have this sort of an outlet